What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Jeff Needs Help Live. Got a fun episode for you today. Um, we all know, big sports fan, the NBA started last night. I got to watch the Clippers Lakers game, and it wound up being awesome. So that's what kind of sparked all this. So as I'm watching the game, it actually started off with uh, I'm watching Paul George and Kawhi play together, and I'm thinking to myself, like, how good of a duo is this in NBA history to be teammates together on the same court, same time, same era. It's crazy how good those two are. Always been a fan of Paul George. There's something missing there, but that's a different show. So then got later in the game, and AD Anthony Davis starts taking over for the Lakers, and I think to myself, well, actually, the best set of teammates on the court is LeBron and AD. So it kind of just sparked something in my brain. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm trying to think of who was the best teammate LeBron ever had. Like if Kawhi and Paul George, they might be the two best teammates each of them's ever had. I know you got Tim Duncan and all that. It's a different conversation. So I'm thinking about it, like, who's the best teammate? So now, first of all, what jumps out is this isn't who's the best player ever that played with LeBron. So, you got Shaq, obviously. And so, some guys like that, like Ray Allen and all them, and they're in the mix. But what I did was try to think of as two of them, as a duo on the same team, what their production was, like what they got out of each other. So that's how I went with the best teammate. Obviously, we're talking you got to be a good player, but you also have to produce his teammates. So here's what we came up with. So here we go. So LeBron James, top 5 all-time teammates by Jeff Needs Help. So at me if you want to. My Twitter handle is right there on the bottom of the screen. So here we go. Here we go. And it begins. Number 5. Well, we got to click over here. I apologize. I already screwed it up. Number 5, Kevin Love. Um, Kevin Love was a really good player. I thought he was a little overrated when he was at Minnesota, and everybody was dying over him. Said he had to get out of there and all that, and the numbers he put up. Nothing against the guy. And when LeBron got, back to Cleveland from Miami, he basically handpicked this guy, traded Wiggins away and part of the team away to get this guy. So he handpicked him to be a partner on this run that he wanted to make in Cleveland. And it worked out pretty well. So what I liked, how they work together, what I liked is, Kevin, he's always undersized down low, a little outman down low. But he worked super hard, and when he had it going and was rebounding really well, it frees up LeBron. You can see, like, even by that picture, like, they're about the same size. LeBron's obviously, way better athlete. But when Kevin was rebounding well, and he's a really good passer, it really lets LeBron play out on the perimeter. And then that's a mismatch. So that worked out great. And when Love was hitting those spot up threes, and LeBron, the offense was that Cavaliers offense was kick out, kick out, kick out. When Kevin was hitting those threes, it was lights out, and they had a great run. He got his arm ripped off in 12 or what would have been 15. Got his arm ripped off. We'll never know what happened in those playoffs. He was playing pretty good that year. 16, he showed up. He played a great playoffs, gritty. He made big shots. He made big rebounds more than anything. They got the championship. Is awesome. So and he's a really good player, but I think LeBron got a lot out of him. So number 5, Kevin Love. Number 4, my man Chris Bosh. Now this dude, a lot like Love, he took a lot of the pressure off down low, big rebounds, open shots. But what I lean a little more towards Bosh for number 4 is when he went to the Heat and LeBron went to the Heat and they started the big 3 with him and those two and Dwayne Wade. Bosh had a great career going. Bosh didn't have to go there. He sacrificed more than anybody else on that team to go there to try and win a championship and to help out. I mean, he probably sacrificed, my guess is 25% of the stats he could have had over his career. He had a bit of shortened career because of health problems, but when they were together, he was also a mature force. He kept his emotions on guard. And I think he helped LeBron, who was a younger player 10 years ago. I think he helped him grow up a little, and he was just a driving force on that team. And obviously in 13, he makes one of the biggest rebounds in NBA history. Everybody knows the story. Ray Allen hits the shot. So number 4, Chris Bosh, a great player, great teammate. and they got 2 titles together. They went 4 finals in 4 years. It was a magnificent run they had together. So number 4, I got Chris Bosh, and number 3, I got Kyrie Irving at number 3. Now I don't love this guy, but you can't deny what they did. Now LeBron came back. Kyrie was on the Cavs. He was the center of the Cavs, universe at that time. LeBron comes back. I think we can look back now and think that Kyrie wasn't totally acceptant of LeBron coming back and taking over, but he did. But what Kyrie did that was awesome is LeBron could actually take some minutes off, and if Kyrie go on one of his runs, I mean, he could go on a 10-point scoring run by himself. And that's huge. If the longer LeBron can stay on the bench and the lead stays or doesn't go down, or they don't whatever. So that was huge. And then of course Kyrie makes one of the biggest shots in NBA history, the same finals, wins it. But when they were together, they played pretty good together. Now they didn't defensively. Kyrie didn't help LeBron out as much as some other guys does, so he didn't take as much pressure off. But JR and those guys, Shumpert, they kind of filled that void. But you can't deny that the offensive force that Kyrie is when he's healthy and his head's in the right place and he's on a roll. So I had to give him number 3 basically because overall, he's going to wind up being the probably more advanced player. And they produced together 4 finals, championship in Cleveland. It was huge. So number 3, Kyrie Irving. Number 2, this is crazy. I know it's only been a year, but Anthony Davis. And now this is mainly based on because Anthony Davis is so good. This dude's a freak. At his size and his physicality, the way he can also scare you on the perimeter is filthy. I just couldn't believe it. Even last night, I think it was the third quarter. He makes two or three threes in a row. Like, you're talking about a dominant defensive center that you can't leave unguarded on the perimeter, and that's amazing. And that takes a ton of heat off LeBron, like at this age. So that's where the teammate thing factors in, because LeBron, at 17 years in the league, can't physically do some of those, even though he's a freak. And I know he's still, maybe not the best player in the league, but he's right there, maybe an MVP this year. But still, physically, he needs a little help. And Davis is just awesome, So that's why I give him the teammate, obviously, because he's helping LeBron out so much right now. And Davis is going to go down as a Hall of Famer for sure. So I think everybody knows who number 1 is. There's not a question about the greatest teammate LeBron James ever had, and that's our boy D Wade. This guy, he was a Hall of Famer on his way when LeBron got there. They played together so well. Like, when those Heat teams were rolling for those 4 years, it was just pure entertainment. It was poetry in motion. When Dwayne, he's tossing it up behind his, no look behind his back. LeBron's, dunking. But D-Wade, he's so great on defense. And that helps out a ton. It's saved on LeBron. I mean, I think that just like Pippen kind of took a little after Jordan, as far as the way they play defense on their roles. I think LeBron learned a ton about defense from Dwayne Wade and how to deny and just how to just stick with it and fight through it. And, Dwayne Wade, he's a guy that, like, his offense could shut down a little bit, but then he would step it up. But then there were times in those runs in Miami where he would still take over for 10 minutes of a game, and he sacrificed a little too. I mean, when you bring LeBron James onto your team and you're a great player already, you're obviously going to not get a lot of touches, not get a lot of points. But they played so great together. The camaraderie was great. It was fun to watch them play. And I think they're both great teammates all around. But those two together, that was just that's without a doubt LeBron James' best teammate that he ever had. Now, I understand, like, some also rans, like Shaq was LeBron's teammate, but they weren't. That was way after Shaq's prime. Ray Allen, great teammate. And it was just a difference that by the time Ray Allen got to LeBron, he just wasn't the star player that he was. It takes nothing away from his job and what he did on the court and how he helped out. So you had Ray Allen on the list. There's some others, even in the Cleveland days. But that's the top 5 that I came up with. I don't know if it makes any sense. I know Dwayne Wade's right. Nobody's going to argue me on that. I don't think anybody's going to bring up, Ilgauskas or any of those cats. But Anyway, so that's my top five. Uh, there you go. There's the team. You got Dwayne Wade, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Chris Bosh, and Kevin Love, all teammates of LeBron. All I think all better because they played with LeBron, whether their stats were better or not. And this team plus LeBron James can win something. I can say that right now. Like I would sign up for this team tomorrow. Uh, it's so man, that was awesome. So so that's it. That is my top five for the day. I got all excited watching the games last night. Had a little extra time, and totally honest with you, I want to try out some new slideshows that we're trying to integrate more on my program that I have. So I worked on that. So I appreciate you being patient with me. Hope you had a little fun. I know my boys are gonna get going here later. They're gonna tear me up. They're gonna have suggestions, and that's what I want. Everybody's busy doing their thing today, but I'm putting this out there. Everybody watch it. Everybody share it. Everybody give me the feedback and tell me how stupid I am, how wrong I am, or how awesome I am. I like that better. So that's it, everyone. Be kind to each other. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you just. I know it's tough right now. I hope you just enjoy some NBA and what they're doing, and it takes you away from things for a few minutes. And you know, thanks for helping. As usual, you're the best.